Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Thursday, the 6th day of November, 2025. I hope this Thursday finds you safe and healthy, and that this Thursday finds you and your family safe and healthy, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in health with first responders who are out here trying their best to preserve and save life. Those also that pick up garbage, keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are out here trying to help those that are victims of prostitution, child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, the profiteers, and the perverts that cause these industries to exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 people in the United States, men, women, children, families, senior citizens, military veterans, and the whole island of Jamaica. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There was a basketball game last night. The Knicks played the Minnesota Timberwolves at Madison Square Garden and came away with a very nice win, 137-114. A good team they played last night. This was no Washington Wizards. This was a good team, a playoff team. Juju was playing tremendous. 32 points, 5 boards, 4 assists. He was what I thought he was going to be. So was Dante DiVincenzo. 21 points, 4 assists, 2 turnovers, but 1 steal, 2 rebounds. He played 36 minutes. Ant was there, 15 points. Ant wasn't fully healthy, as we know, but he was in Madison Square Garden, wanted to show out. But this is a good team. Jaden McDaniels, tough on both sides of the ball, but the Knicks were just simply better. Okay, Naz Reid, what I thought he was going to do, did what I thought he was going to do. 21 points from him, 18 from Conley. Jalen Clark had 13. Their bench, the people that played the rotation minutes from their bench scored, the people that played 25, 46, they've scored 64 points last night. That's their bench. Their bench is tough. Conley came off the bench. Clark came off the bench. And Dillingham, along with what we mentioned, Naz Reid from out of New Jersey, and they balled. They balled out. But if you look at the closer, those 4, which were really the rotation, they had other players that played 3 minutes, but no, the 4 that played the rotation minutes for Minnesota, and this is what I was trying to point out to many that still don't get it. But look, they were minus 18, 22, minus 41. So they scored a lot of points, but they were minus 41. See, that's the key here. The Knicks bench, everyone was talking about the scoring of the bench, but the bench for the Knicks was plus, 14, 19, plus 45. Now they score, but it's the defense and how much they stop the opponent. That's the important thing. So with Miles McBride, Deuce, Shamet, Josh Hart, Clarkson, they did business last night. They did business last night. Let me see, 17 plus 25. They scored 42 points. The rotation of the bench scored 42 points. Yabusele, who is just outside the rotation, and we thought that because that's been the pattern. I'm starting to see a little Mike Brown pattern. When MitchRob starts and plays, Yabusele's minutes are reduced. When MitchRob does not play, Yabusele's minutes are increased. And so Yabusele is basically a high-level, glorified situational. Okay, under Tom Thibodeau. He's going to get more minutes than the regular situational, but he's not getting, as you can see, 9 minutes, not getting rotation minutes. So the rotation minutes went to Clarkson, 16 minutes, Hart, 27 minutes, Shamet, 12 minutes, and Deuce, 21 minutes. And that is also a function of how they are performing. Last night, Deuce and Hart got more minutes because that unit, when they were on the floor together, they was taking it to the Timberwolves hard. And we thought that the bench was going to be important, and we thought this was going to be the case, and it is. They really taken it hard. And the thing is, right now, what excites me is that right now, as we sit today on November 6th, which is still early, okay, very early, 8 games into the season, the Knicks are the top differential in the Eastern Conference, 5.3, top. Okay, that win last night vaulted them to the top. So they're 5-3, 5.3 differential. That beats everybody. Second is Miami. Third is the Bulls. Fourth is the Pistons. Fifth is the Celtics and the Sixers. All of them are surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised at the Miami Heat. In my view, at least since, I would say, outside of Popovich, to me, Eric Spoelstra is the best coach in the NBA. To me, been that way for a minute. Pop slipping a little bit in terms of age, right? Because he's older, and the guy that's replacing him is trained by him, and you can see that. Spurs are doing well with Victor Wembanyama, but to me, grinding out day-to-day coach, getting the most out of his team, getting every inch of talent and squeezing every bit of ability out of his players, especially defensively, it's Eric Spoelstra. So you can never bet against a team coached by Eric Spoelstra, because even though they're 4-4, don't bet against Miami, because and he got players, and this is what I liked about Tom Thibodeau, is eventually after like 4 seasons, you had a Tibbs team. Right now, what you're looking at, Mike Brown is the coach, but this is a Tibbs team. Okay, this team was built for Tom Thibodeau. All right, with the exception of a Jordan Clarkson. I mean, I don't know if Tibbs would have wanted him. I don't know. But he's not a typical Tibbs player. But he's obviously working out for us. So, but when you're talking about your Deuces, you're talking about Shamits, you're talking about guys like Diawara, you're talking about Josh Hart. Those are Tibbs guys. Okay, and the starting unit with the defense and everything, that's Tibbs. So this is a Tibbs team really being coached by Mike Brown. And so when you're looking at Miami, because of their culture, that's what you love about a team that has a deep culture that Miami does, which now New York does. But the culture, Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra are on the same page. They know what they want. Okay, they know what they want. And so they know the kind of player they want. You know what an Eric Spoelstra player looks like. And they're going to get a team with Eric Spoelstra players. This particular team of Eric Spoelstra players are led by Bam Adebayo. But everybody, even Davion Mitchell, Norman Powell, those are Tibbs. I said Tibbs, but see, those are Spoelstra type players. Okay, those are Spoelstra guys. And others are learning. And Jaime Jaquez, total Spoelstra guy. Okay, total Spoelstra type guy. So was Jimmy Butler until he started being the drama queen. But as a player, that's a Spoelstra type player. So he's going to get those players that work in the way he likes to coach, the toughness he needs to see. And yeah, they're gonna be there at the end. And as I said about Tibbs, say about Spoelstra, they're going to be playing better in March than they're playing now. Okay, and they're 4-4 right now, but you can never sleep on Miami. The thing is, they're 4-4, but the differential is second in the East. That tells you they're coming. Okay, the differential has always been to me a bellwether of where that team is going to be. It's early, but that differential is telling you they're coming. Okay, just like with the Knicks, they're coming. Now, I personally do not believe that Chicago's for real. I'm not saying they're not a good team. They're a much better team than they were in the previous several years. They're much better without Levine, without DeRozan, without Ball. They're a much better team now. Josh Giddey's the real deal. I will give it to him. He has earned my respect. But I don't think they're going to be top 6 in the East. I just don't see it. I don't think that they're built for that. They probably make the play-in, and they might even cause some noise. But I don't think they're going to be top 6. I'd be surprised. If we come to 41 games in the season and they're still in the top 6 in the East, I'll be surprised. I'll change my view then. But for now, this is where we at. So right now, Knicks, Heat, Bulls, Pistons, Celtics, Sixers. Sixers are surprising, but not as much because I've always been a big believer in Maxey, and I've been a big believer in, as you know, Quentin Grimes, one of my favorite players on the Knicks. And I want to hear you talking about the Knicks shouldn't have traded him. Give it the coulda, woulda, shoulda. Keep it out my channel, please. But he's doing well in Philly. We like that. Hopefully he gets his money at the end of the year, which I think he will. But they're doing well. I'm not surprised at that. That's 3 players between McCain, Grimes, and now you got VJ Edgecombe, who's the real deal for real. So you got those 3 guys. They're guard oriented. Forget Embiid. Embiid is just an ancillary piece right now. And let me tell you, I've been saying this for 2 years now, 3 years. Trade him. Get rid of him while you can, while you get some value for him. And set up for Isaiah Hartenstein. That's what I would do if I'm Philly. Set up for Isaiah Hartenstein as soon as you can. They got Adam Boda, but they're not going nowhere this year anyway. But you add Hartenstein to this team with Maxey, Edgecombe, McCain, Q-Dog, and you see Kelly Oubre is a good player, but he's a journeyman, right? He's a solid role player, NBA level role player. Paul George, I ain't counting on him either. I don't know why they gave him all that money. It was a bad move. But they got the nucleus in these 4 young guards to do some things, okay? They got the nucleus. They need a solid 5. They don't need a superstar 5. Embiid is not even the MVP. Embiid, he shouldn't have won the MVP when he did, but whatever. He's got all the talent in the world, but his knees are messed up. His legs are done, man. He's a big man with bad legs. He had bad feet coming into the league. He got his money, blessing upon him, but nah, I would be trading him, stretching him, getting rid of him as soon as possible, and trying to set up and make sure I'm throwing a ton of money, $30 million a year, at Isaiah Hartenstein, because I'm gonna tell you right now, Oklahoma City can't keep him after this season. So that's what I would do. But for the Knicks, here we come. This is the thing. This is the first year that I can remember. The Knicks actually had a favorable schedule. It's almost like the league decided the Knicks are going to be good, so we're going to make some money on them. Because that's what they do. When the league wants to highlight a team, I think we all see they highlight the San Antonio Spurs, who were a lottery team, but because of Victor Wembanyama, they highlight the Spurs, which they should. They want to make money, right? It's a star-driven league. They do the same thing, and Lakers, of course, they do the same thing when they think any team is good that's rising. They want to make money off it. Much as they might hate the owner, in this case it's James Dolan, they hate him, but they want to make money. So they're saying, shoot, man, the Knicks look like they're going to be good. Let's put them on national TV as much as we can. Let's highlight them. And they give the Knicks a very favorable early season schedule. Very favorable. So the Knicks now have a 7-game home stand. That's really big. So, and of course, as we are now seeing, the Knicks are taking full advantage of that gift. So now they're gonna finish the homestand, and they're gonna have a 5-game away stint. They're gonna have a stint of 5 straight games away, visiting Miami, Dallas, Orlando. That's all over the place, not even close to each other. So they're flying all over the country: Miami to Dallas to Orlando to Brooklyn to Charlotte. So Brooklyn is really a home game, but what I'm saying, it's technically an away game. So they're gonna have a serious away schedule. But the good thing is, after they finish up this homestand, right, if they keep doing the way they're doing, which they're doing very well, and what we're seeing, we haven't even got to the fullness of what they're going to be this year. They're still learning. So this homestand gives them a chance. We talked about last week, they lost 3 in a row, and people was tripping on Cat, tripping, because people in New York just like to trip. It's just like a drama situation. But for those of us that keep in our head, we understand they just needed to get right. And so they started that second game against Chicago. Then, of course, Washington was the perfect team to flex on and get your game right. And they did. Then here come a good team in Minnesota into the Garden with Ant, and they beat them by 23 points. I'm loving it. So now What we got to do is keep doing what they doing now. Now, it looks like finally Brown is getting some predictability in his rotation. So if MitchRob starts, Yabusele's minutes go down, and the four guys that we know, Hart, Shamet, Deuce, and Clarkson, they get heavier minutes. If MitchRob doesn't play, Yabusele gets a little bit more minutes, which is, and then you start to see the other four guys also, and whoever's performing, what unit, that's what I like about him too. See, Tibbs, if you recall, no matter how the unit was performing, he always liked to finish games with his starters, whether they were playing good or not. Okay, he always liked to finish games with his starters. And if Deuce was going off, it don't matter. He's gonna finish with his starters. Brown's gonna go with the unit that's balling. That's what he did. The last game, before this game against Washington, there was a unit that was balling with Clarkson, didn't include Deuce, and he kept that unit out. It was Shaman Clarkson, and he was balling. They were balling, and he kept them out there. This time, Deuce Shaman, Deuce Clarkson, kept them out there. I kind of like that. So he's going to flow with who's balling, but his rotation is still the same. So your rotation now, we know the starting five with MitchRob. Then you got Josh, Deuce, Clarkson, and Shamet. That's your rotation. And then Yabusele's in and out depending if MitchRob is playing or not. If MitchRob is not playing, then you got Karl Anthony Towns starting at the 5. Okay, and then Shamet will start. Now we see that works very well. As much as I love Deuce, I can't take away the fact that Shamet works very well with them 4 stars. Now Deuce does too now, but you to have both of them, yeah, that's why I was always all in telling y'all Shamet was going to be back. I didn't know all this drama about who they going to pick. Whatever they pick was going to be with Shamet. Shamet was going to be back, and he is, and he's balling. So that is nice, and we doing what we got to do. So now just continue to develop on both ends of the court. Continue to get a feel for the Brown system. Continue to learn each other. All of that is what's happening now during this homestand. All of that is what's happening now. Last night, Mitchell Robinson was Mitchell Robinson. So last night he had total of 10 boards, but 9 was on the offensive end of the floor. There was nothing they could do with him. See, that's what happens when you got to guard a Brunson. You got to guard a Towns. You got to guard them, right? And then you still got OG, who had 25 last night. Shot 60% from 3 last night. So you got to guard them. What does that mean? That means you got only one guy to try to keep Mitchell Robinson off the offensive glass. You're going to have a problem. And they did. Okay? They did. The Knicks had more possessions because of Mitchell Robinson last night. They had more possessions than Minnesota did. They had more possessions. Minnesota had 83 field goal attempts. The Knicks had 102. When you're getting those amount of attempts in the NBA, in the league, you're going to win. Most of the time, you're going to win. So the Knicks had 102 field goal attempts to 83. They had actually 19 more field goal attempts than their opponent. And as long as that's the case, and that's a function of Mitchell Robinson's getting offensive glass. The total boards last night, the total rebounds, the Knicks had 50 and they had 31. Again, that's a function of Mitchell Robinson. Now you're going to have, for example, with the Knicks, you had Anunoby with 8 boards. Towns, of course, Towns with 10. Jalen Brunson had 7 boards. Josh Hart had a light game for him, 5 boards. Deuce had 3. When you have everybody contributing like that, plus you add in a Mitchell Robinson, the NBA, as we've been saying all along, they have a problem. Okay? They have a Knicks problem. So there we go. And then, to our blessing, 32 assists. 32. That's what we're talking about. How many turnovers did they have? 14. I guess we got to get used to that. I'm trying not to. I'm hoping he could keep it down closer to 12. Because you want to, but when you're moving the ball to get 32 assists, you're gonna have some turnovers. So that's just function of moving of the ball movement. So so Brunson had 4, and you can't blame Brunson. He had 4 turnovers, but he had 10 assists. That's 2.5 to 1 turnover assist to turnover ratio. You can't complain about that. Of course, Cat is a turnover machine too, but not for being careless. He likes to just throw passes, nice passes, and try to get fancy sometimes. But he's a good passing big man. He's really good passing big man. So that is where you're gonna get your turnovers. You see, so of the 14 they had 8 between 2 players, right? So the rest of the crew has 6 combined, right? So it's okay. It's okay. So guess what I'm saying? So you're dominating on the glass. You're dominating on the offensive glass. You're tossing 32 assists. And then everybody's chipping in. Josh Hart was 4 of 5 from 3. Deuce was 2 of 5 from 3. OG was 3 of 5 from 3. So you had OG, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, all hit at least 3. They put up 42 3-point shots, hit 19 of them. 8 of 9 from the line. They wasn't getting to the line a whole lot, but 8 of 9. Okay, see? So this is good. This was a nice win, a solid game. Again, we just want to stay healthy. Stay healthy and continue to develop. This is a good little homestand to develop under the Mike Brown system. It's a very good homestand for the Knicks to develop under the Mike Brown system. Just keep doing that. It almost, honestly, it doesn't matter who they're playing. It could be Oklahoma City. It could be anybody. It doesn't matter. They could get beat by any of these guys. They play in the Nets on Sunday. Don't sleep. The Nets could beat them. Okay? I know people thinking, the Knicks are against the Nets, oh, that's an easy win. Don't think like that. There's some fools that do think like that. They must be high. This is the league. Got to be careful. Play the Nets like they were playing Oklahoma City. Okay? Then they got Memphis. Memphis is like literally. They call them Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies is really appropriate because they're a wounded bear right now. And you don't want to mess with no wounded bear. That's another one. Orlando. Enough said. Good team. Then they got to finish this homestand against the Heat. Looking forward to that. So this is not no easy thing, but they got 1, 2, 3, 4 more home games. Use these games to get more tight, more sharp, then go on the road and show yourself. That's what I'm saying. So I think we're good. Nice win. Mike Brown, they coming together. They're not there yet, but in getting there, the league is on notice. Y'all enjoy your Thursday. Next game they play is Sunday against Brooklyn. Again, don't sleep on Brooklyn. Don't sleep on anybody. This is the league. Anybody can be anybody on any given night. And so they got to come correct against Brooklyn. Now, next week, there's another back-to-back, a Tuesday, Wednesday back-to-back, Memphis and Orlando. So one of those games, MitchRob is not going to play. We already know that. So he's probably going to play against Brooklyn on Sunday. He looked very good last night, as I mentioned. And again, we got to give him some time to get acclimated too. See, so he's also getting acclimated. This whole minutes restriction and everything. They're doing right though. They keep playing it like that. As I said, the NBA has a New York problem. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Talk to y'all soon. Shalom.